Why play Skarner Jungle? Well, he is very easy to pick up and play, his ganks are incredible, he brings a ton of lockdown, and he gets remarkably tanky. However, his lockdown can be flashed or dashed away from, and he does need his team to follow up his engage. Skarner's passive is his basic attacks, Q, and ultimate all apply a stack to the target. Enemies affected with 3 stacks take damage over time. Skarner's Q causes him to rip a boulder out of the ground, empowering his next 3 basic attacks to have bonus range, attack speed, and deal bonus damage, with the third attack dealing even more damage and slowing targets hit. This ability can be reactivated to turn it into a straight line skill shot, which stops upon hitting an enemy, dealing damage and slowing in an area. Skarner's W deals damage in a large area around him and slows all targets hit while granting him a shield. Skarner's E causes him to start charging towards your cursor, where he becomes ghosted and ignores terrain. If Skarner grabs an enemy champion or monster, he grabs them and takes them with him. If he collides with terrain while holding an enemy, he deals damage to them and stuns them, and doing so reduces the cooldown of this ability. Skarner's ultimate is a skill shot, which, after a short delay, will deal damage to all enemies hit and impale 3 of the closest enemy champions. Impaled enemies are suppressed and must move with Skarner, and as long as he grabs at least 1 enemy, he gains a large chunk of movement speed during this time. For combos, use Q and then engage with E. Slam your target into terrain, then attack twice into your W. Use your final empowered attack, following up with ult if needed. For matchups, Skarner is great into squishier junglers who can easily tank and lock down. However, he can struggle into great team fighters who can outvalue him in fights. For runes, take this. Grasp makes you tanky. For build order, start Blue Monster and Pot into a Heart Steel and Tier 2 boots. After this, Asterax and Unending Despair are great pickups before finishing a build with any of these as needed. For skill order, start Q then W then E before maxing Q then W then E, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Smite. Starting the game, for your first clear, you have a few different options. The safest option is always to do a full jungle clear. This just ensures you have the maximum gold and experience, so if you need to fight for Scuttle Crab, you're in the best spot. Otherwise, Skarner's ganks are really good. If an opponent already used their flash, this can be a good lane to target for a quick level 2 gank. This is where you take your red or blue buff and then go straight to that lane using your E through their wall. This level of cheese gank can be incredibly surprising and put a lane ahead immediately. Although the downside of this is the opposing jungler knows you haven't taken your other side of the jungle and can go for it instead. Otherwise, you can go for the level 3 gank where you clear half your jungle and then look to gank. Of course, when ganking, always consider the 3 main points of what CC does your team bring, what escapes does the enemy have, and where is the lane pushed to. When looking to gank, your ability to go through walls is strong, so keep looking for creative gank paths to catch your opponent off guard. Entering the mid game, you want to keep farming hard and focusing on objectives. Your E and ultimate is amazing at finding picks, so look for isolated targets, pick them off and convert into objectives. Entering late game team fights, you want to play as your teams engage. Either flank onto the fight using E to get onto their backline, or simply ram their front line backwards and then ult one of their carries. From here, just walk their carry back into your team so they can blow them up for you.